Hi everyone, welcome to the Collective Consciousness reading for July 31st through August 6th. I'm going to jump right into it, but before I do, you guys know what I'm going to say. Please subscribe to this channel. That would be super helpful for growth and for the algorithm, and then also like this video as well for the same reasons. And down below, guys, any comments, questions, concerns, feedback, anything along those lines, whether it resonates, whether it doesn't resonate, please put it down below. I always interact with the comments, and I always want to hear if the energy resonates with you, the reading resonates with you. So or doesn't, but just let me know. Just be kind. That's all I have to say. All right, guys, let's just jump right into it. I did the pre-shuffle. I think I am using the same decks, but I did change the order of the decks. We have the same spread that I've been using for the weeklies, and I think that's it. Oh yeah, guys, if you notice, maybe some of you will, this is actually a tablecloth, so hopefully the cards won't be kind of jumping all over the place as they usually are. Okay, I hope you had a good week last week, so let's see what we got going on this week. Okay, so need sage, be devoted and committed. Okay, so basically what I'm getting for this is be devoted and committed. We need more commitment. So interesting why this is coming up for me. I just read a book about commitment and community and integrity and committing in general, basically. And so, and devotion is another good word. So basically, we definitely need to look at those things in our life this week. And I definitely feel like we kind of need to. And so this being brought up in the very first slot, I'm very interested to see what comes under responsibilities, because it just feels like we need to, there are some times in our life where we need more freedom and then we need more commitments. And I'm definitely feeling this feeling already, that commitment and responsibility and structure is actually something that, sticking to something basically is something that we really do need this week. So if you're somebody, and I'm calling myself out too, where we don't, maybe start projects and don't finish them, that kind of thing, this is definitely a week for that. But again, I'll see what comes up. I'm very curious to see what comes up with responsibilities. If there's, unfinished symphonies is one of the cards in here that I wonder will come up. But this is really just about really making the commitment to actually devote your time, energy, money to like a big project or a big life commitment of some kind. So I definitely do feel like the energy is shifting where I'm somebody that really loves freedom. I have a feeling a lot of you guys are like that as well. I don't mean to pin them against each other, because sometimes when we're committing to something, it's not that we have loss of freedom. We just have to have a different perspective about it. That's really what Spirit is saying here. So there's something that needs extra commitment this week, or needs to be devoted to, but for like a long time. So I definitely do see some of you guys making that commitment this week, or at least feeling the energy of that maybe you should be doing that. Okay, I think you guys get that, get it. Let's see. Action needed, monk, nun, selfless devotion, and single-minded dedication to Spirit. Okay, so this is about our spirituality. We've been having this on and off, where I believe this actually came up, whether it was last week or the week before, in the challenge, where, and I don't think it was monk, nun, but I think it was a similar type archetype, similar type energy, where we were having trouble connecting to our spiritual practice. Not exactly in the challenge spot, but it is something that we still need. So if you have gotten better with your spiritual practice, you've gotten more consistent, more committed to doing that, continue to go forward, because you obviously need it. And again, that could be one of your commitments this week, and that might be what Spirit is talking about, right? Is that your commitment to a lifelong meditation practice or something along those lines. But could be anything though. But yeah, definitely action needed. Keep going for those who are really being consistent with their spiritual practice. And if you're still not, and you're kind of like falling off the wagon with that, Spirit is asking you, this week to revisit that practice. Okay, or dedication to Spirit, however you want to say it. Just connecting to your spirituality, however that looks, counts. Okay, we have issue. All right, we have soulmates. Okay, so issue. Okay, so soulmates could be platonic, they could be romantic. Okay, so this is now getting me excited for these friends and romantic connection slots down here. We'll see what comes up, but definitely feels like an issue with relationships because soulmates are any type of relationship, platonic or romantic, that seems easier, more in flow, kind of situation going on. And so the fact that it's under issue is definitely something to talk about, because it doesn't feel so harmonious this week. Okay, I'm definitely feeling some tension, I'm definitely feeling some conflict, and almost like the realization that maybe some of you guys aren't as in sync with the people that you have a soul connection with. Or it could kind of be the opposite, people that you wouldn't like, you might be like connecting with people that aren't soulmates, but it's actually vibing a lot better. Like the energy just feels better between those types of people. So what I can say is, don't discount, sometimes I do feel like, especially if you resonate as an empath, sometimes we just like want to connect with people that are very more like-minded than us. This is kind of telling a different story, but so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you guys connect with people that like you wouldn't normally connect with this week, but it's definitely talking about the issues within the soulmate relationship. So let's put it this way. What you think would be harmonious relationships this week are going to be the opposite, basically. That's what I'm getting from that. So I don't feel like it's too terrible. I don't necessarily feel like big breakups. Obviously, that could maybe, manifest for some of you guys that way. But it definitely does feel like, relationships that have been harmonious are not so harmonious this week. And again, you might find the opposite with people that you don't usually get along with. So, or vibe, maybe get along is not, correct, but not the best word, but vibe with, feel in sync with is the best way I can kind of say it. So that's very interesting. Again, very curious to see what comes up down here. Okay, surprise, follow your heart. Okay, so this is definitely follow your heart. So basically, these are still moving, but not as much. Okay. Definitely, it's pretty straightforward. I'm using the Ascended Masters deck again. They usually are. Follow your heart. I think you'll surprise yourself. Again, it being next to that Soulmates card, I think you'll be very surprised at where your heart leads you this week. I'll just put it that way. There's not too much I can say on that, guys, but definitely follow your heart for sure. And you guys will know what that means. I don't want to beat it like a dead horse and, get too into it, but I think you guys will understand what that means when it happens. Okay, challenge. We have Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. Okay, so this is about, usually the Spirit Fox is about adaptability and flexibility, but I don't necessarily feel like, yes, that could be the challenge of not being flexible this week, but also too of going too quickly. I definitely feel that more so, where we might be trying to rush through things, and it is posing a challenge, because not that Spirit is asking us to be more present, but it's just saying like savor the moments, but don't rush through, because it could lead to mistakes is basically what I'm getting. Not necessarily like you're missing the memories or anything like that. Yes, that's obviously part of it when you rush through things, but you don't want to make any like smaller type mistakes. And again, this could be like any area of your life, but rushing through things is not the answer. I will put that out there with that. So no rushing through anything. You can prevent things if you don't rush through it. And again, I don't love the word mistakes, but making silly errors. I know I'm dancing around it now, but it's definitely something that can be avoided. And the fact that it's under challenge makes me feel like you guys might have a time crunch or something. Like some of you guys might have like a deadline or something along those lines, but still do not rush. Take your time, and so you don't miss the details and that kind of thing. So okay, what do we focus on here? Okay, we have the warrior, but we have it upside down. This is actually my favorite archetype. It's like the healer archetype, that's why. But we have in the shadow, it says trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. Okay, warrior is, it's like a fighter. It's like somebody who has gone through it, and they have gotten the willpower to really get through really difficult times, and they come out of it in the light, and they come out of it seeing the situation as a teaching moment, as a learning moment, and they don't let it destroy them in a way. So what I will say here is, and this is no shade to anybody, and this is like not even a bad thing, even though I try to stay away from that word. We can't always be warriors 24/7. I will put it this way. Whatever journey that you're going through right now, it's okay that you don't feel optimistic or that warrior energy. Like, it's okay if it feels a little bit upside down and you feel very frustrated and you feel very disheartened is a good way to put it. And I think it's important that this is coming under focus, because it's kind of saying to me that it's important that you pay attention to that this week, because we can't always be strong 24/7, and that's okay. Like, it's more about connecting to our humanity, and really just like focusing on that. Like, it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be disheartened, it's okay to be like all of those different things. So it's okay to not be okay, essentially, right? And that's kind of what Spirit is saying. So you don't have to be the warrior, 24/7, and it's okay that it's in the shadow. These shadow attributes are not supposed to make us feel bad, quote unquote, or anything like that. It's supposed to, it's supposed to show our humanity, is that there's two sides, that there's always polarity, there's always duality, there's always different two sides to a coin, the yin and the yang, right? And so this is really what that's about. So really, I would also say, like, pay attention to your mental health. Like, this is kind of another way of saying that, is pay attention to your mental health this week. It's okay if you're not okay, get the help that you need. You can't be a warrior 24/7. This could also too mean, for some of you guys out there in the collective, that you may be indifferent to the suffering of others. And so just pay attention to that. Don't forget to utilize your empathy this week for other people. But it does mostly just feel like, focusing on the times that you don't necessarily feel like a warrior this week, and it's totally okay. And again, could be mental health focused for sure. What to reflect on? All That Glitters. Okay, so definitely All That Glitters is about the grass is always greener on the other side. Reflecting on that. So there's definitely going to be, so guys, I'm going to say that my hunch was right, my intuition was right here about mental health. We need to really make sure our mental health is okay this week. Again, get the help that we need, do the things that we need to do for that. Because this just feels like reflecting on what could have been, or the path that we could have taken, and it could go down a turn that is not so pretty, basically. And I don't want to say dark turn, maybe for some of you guys, but it definitely does feel like we need to, not necessarily wallow in that too much, but reflecting is okay. Reflecting is about finding just being self-reflective, but seeing all parts, but also not forgetting that, yes, everything does happen for a reason. Everything is exactly how it's intended to be, even though, again, when we're in a state that it feels like this energy is coming from, it could be really, really tough. So again, don't beat yourself up if you can't get there, but again, get help if you need it this week, because it definitely does feel like we're kind of at a point where we're kind of looking at all of the maybe the more negative aspects of us, what has transpired, all of this stuff. So definitely, again, take care of yourselves, basically. Also, I do want to say, even though I feel like there's always physical health, mental health, like it all is connected to spiritual health, like, let's be honest. So I love that this comes underneath the monk nun, which is telling us to really, connect more with our spiritual practice. It's still needed, basically, Spirit is saying, and now I'm understanding why. So don't forget, guys, part of your mental health is bleeding into your spiritual life too, your spiritual wellness. Okay, so responsibilities. I was very curious to see what kind of comes out here. Clear and shield your energy. Okay, so this is really about protecting your energy and making sure you're okay. It makes sense coming after these cards about mental health, for sure. And spiritual health, this is really what Spirit is asking you to do. I'm starting to think for a lot of you guys, the commitment isn't necessarily going to be many tangible things, but committing to a spiritual practice or committing to our healing, committing to our growth, that kind of thing. So it could be more abstract in that way. Again, some of you guys, it could be like committing to, buying a home, for example. So it could be something a little bit more tangible, but again, I'm definitely feeling abstract type energies here. That's your responsibility, is to make sure you're protecting your energy, protecting your wellness and your health and wellness. Okay, now I'm curious to see what comes out through here, health and wellness, right? Okay, so this is taking an interesting turn. Money, finances, career, I put them all in the same category. So we have Magic Guardian, Unlock the Magic Within. This is a power card. So what I can say that I think for most of you guys, what is kind of going on is more like what this is kind of all linked to is more self-focused, and also our relationships, right? We have kind of issues with our usual relationships that do go well, they're not going so well. So I definitely do feel like all of this, kind of darkish kind of energy or more negative type energy does have to do with our relationships. So because this is a power card, meaning like your money, finances, and career are really great this week. So you're doing good there. Like that's the thing that you don't have to worry about, basically. So that's also giving me a clue that it might be pertaining to the relationships in your life. But money, finances, and career looks good. Nothing to like kind of worry about or anything big that we should like highlight, Change. We have Magical Child. This one's in the shadow. Pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles. Believing that energy and action are not required for growth. Okay, so here we go. So we're gonna we have more of this. We have more of here we go. The word depression is right there. Pessimism, that kind of thing. That kind of needs to kind of change, right? And so it definitely does feel like we'll be able to kind of get ourselves out of this place as long as we take care of ourselves. Remember, guys, right here, shield your energy, make a commitment to your spiritual practice, like those different things, follow your heart. Okay, so these are all things that are moving you in the right direction. So I don't want you guys to worry too much. I don't mean to make this like a negative reading, but if you guys have been following me for a while, it's not always unicorns, rainbows, and butterflies, that kind of thing, but it always works itself out, and there's always room for optimism. There's always room for faith, right? That's what it's really all about. And so, not hope, faith. Okay, that's another word I try not to use, is hope, is because it's kind of, it's saying like faith is just a better word to use because it's saying like like it's more of a knowing, and where hope is kind of a wishing. And we don't want to be wishing, we want to be knowing that everything is going to work itself out, because it is. It always works out for a highest and greatest good. And that's something that, when you connect to your spiritual practice, you connect to your spiritual self, that is something that, you reiterate over and over and over again. Okay. So that's like the core of it. But anyway, this is kind of saying like getting back to, changing yourself back into that magical child where you're in awe, you're in wonder, you want to play, want to have fun, like that kind of thing. So I definitely do feel like if you guys have been in a mood, if you guys have not been doing so well, things are starting to change as long as you work on it, okay? As long as you work on it. That's the only way things do change, right? Is if we, the only thing we can change is ourselves. So we need to really start working on that, okay? All right, hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Let's see what friends say. Imagine. Okay, so this is about visualizing. So this is really about imagining. In another way, I feel like this is saying visualizing. If you guys practice manifestation, which I'm sure some of you guys do, this is really about visualizing the life that you want to have. So this is actually in the friend slot. So this is telling me that a lot of you guys, I think a few weeks back, we were letting go of some friends, some energy vampires, like that kind of thing. And so it almost feels like now we're kind of like ready to bring new people into our life that do feel aligned and that kind of thing. Or don't necessarily, that feel aligned, but again, that soulmate card here with the issues, be open to people that maybe aren't exactly like you, or people that you wouldn't necessarily connect with so much. Yes, you can manifest the people that you do want, but also still it's going to be a balance here of like, opening up to people that maybe you don't always get along with, or maybe that you think that you would get along with, versus the type of people that you kind of want to be around. I would try to, I technically teach manifestation, because to me, manifestation is alignment. Okay. So meaning like you keep making decisions, right? Life is a series of decisions. You make decisions that feel good to your soul, right? That light up your soul. You keep doing that, and all of a sudden you have the life that you want, right? And so that kind of is what this is kind of about. But also too, I'm a feelings person, even though your thoughts absolutely matter. Obviously, we're talking about like mental health up here. It obviously matters, but feelings do hold more weight, in my opinion, more energetic weight. And how you feel around people is really important with this, right? Because I think more so with this is like people that you don't think that you would click with, you end up like clicking with this week, but it's kind of like because they make you feel a certain way. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not going on a tangent with that, but just be open, but also at the same time you can manifest the type of people you do want to be around. So keep that in mind with that balance. All right, romantic connection. What do we got going on here? Okay, crystals. Okay, so to me this means actually not super straight to the point with this Ascended Masters deck, but this kind of just means like energy to me, like healing energy, because crystals obviously are healing and protective type energy. So I definitely do want to say thank goodness though. I feel like because of this issue with soulmates card, like I said, it doesn't feel like there's like huge breakups or like any like thing that's like completely tumultuous with like our soulmate connections, because I don't know about you guys. I'm sure it resonates with a lot of you guys when I say our soulmates are like everything to us. You know, they're our core relationships that, you know, feel good to us. And yes, do soulmates break up? Yes, they do. But again, I don't necessarily feel like it's anything big, but I definitely do feel like there's solace in our romantic connections, you know, for our romantic soulmates. So it looks good for you guys, basically, is what I'm trying to say, because it feels like energetic protection, somewhere to go when you're safe, like that kind of feeling. So that's what I'm getting from this. So I see our romantic connections as being good. And again, it just might mean with this issue card that we do connect with people outside of like the realm of what you would call a connection of a soulmate, you know? So don't think too much of that. So I do feel like career, money, finances, and our romantic connection are like solid. So this again is giving me clues as to what else is kind of like going on in our lives. It's more of like a self thing, and then other relationships in life. So this could definitely mean more towards family too, since our romantic connection seem pretty good and our friend group seems like pretty good. So I'm definitely getting more towards like family stuff kind of coming up. So keep that in mind. But again, it'll be different for everybody. It'll manifest differently. Okay, what's important? Broken Arrow, embrace the energy of peace. Okay, it's important that we find peace. There's a lot going on this week. There's a lot of like some of this, I don't want to say darker energy, but I don't know how else to kind of describe what I'm feeling. But there is definitely a feeling of finding peace within all of it. So it's really, really important that you do. Again, I do feel like it's not necessarily something tangible, meaning like you can't, it feels like emotional peace and not necessarily like peace and quiet, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't mean like, you know, your home is hectic and you need to find peace. I mean, it could be for some of you guys, but again, it feels overwhelming, emotional, spiritual, and mental. So definitely, if there's any way, shape, or form for you to find peace, go ahead and do so. What I think about with this is forgiveness. Obviously, that's a big one. Yeah, that's the biggest one, right? I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but and I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I think you guys kind of get it here. Health and wellness. We have advocate. We have inspires you to put compassion into action. Okay, cool. So this is about being an advocate, and I love that it's under health and wellness because it seems like that is a theme in general for this week. And so this is about being your own advocate and advocating for your health, for your wellness. And so, like I said, it definitely feels emotional, mental, and spiritual. So guys, please take care of yourselves in that aspect for sure. Obviously don't neglect your physical, but that's what spirit is saying. It's like bringing it up, you know. to, you know, what energies to pay attention to. Okay, overall outcome. What do we got going on here? We have no place like home. Okay, so guys, you know, finishing this off, it really does feel like a lot of these issues, as I've gone along, it definitely does feel like we cleared the romance, we cleared the friends, we cleared the money and finances and career, and now we have no place like home. So to me, that's another, you know, intuitive hit about, you know, our home life, right? And so this really kind of means more, you know, of our family unit as a whole. So I definitely just feel like something is happening here with family this week. That could be very challenging. That, you know, a lot of the themes that we're kind of like going through has to do with family. Sometimes I get a lot of family stuff when we have like a holiday, but we don't. This is not a week of a holiday, so I find that interesting. But whatever's like kind of going on here with you guys, you can definitely get through it. Just again, really, really pay attention to your spiritual, emotional, and mental health. I think it's just super, super important. And it looks like a lot of the other areas of your life are definitely okay, like a-okay this week. So putting a lot of heavy emphasis and shifting your energy towards those things is definitely supported here with this reading for sure. So, okay, guys, I'm going to still say it looks good because even, you know, the more, you know, not so great weeks are always a part of our growth and are super important in, you know, the full spectrum of the life that we need to live. And I just want to send so much love and light to you guys. And it's okay if you're not okay. Like, I just want to say that and like throw it out there. So, okay, guys, have a wonderful week. And I'll see you for the next weekly.